New technology has helped us to fast-track the way we live our lives in so many ways. And this year, because of the pandemic, unimaginable change has occurred and many people have had no choice but to try to quickly adapt. So how do we deal with what lies ahead and what skills do we need? Well, joining me is Arash Arabi, CEO of Sprint Agile and author of The Wise Entrepreneur. Great to have you here this morning.
Good morning, Janie. It's great to be here.
You're also a Taekwondo world champion. You've got many skills. How do we have to adapt to, what's coming forward in terms of adapting skills, both, intellectually and emotionally?
Absolutely. So I think to be able to adapt and respond to change quickly in an uncertain environment that we're living in today, we need to have transferable skills. So these are skills that would help us do and get better in whatever career that we have. The number one transferable skill that I want to talk to you about is emotional intelligence, what you have on screen right now. So emotional intelligence is basically our ability to understand our own emotions and how they affect our decision making, and to be able to manage and control those emotions, as well as understanding the emotions of other people and figuring out, having empathy with them, figuring out what they're feeling. Nice. And the capability to influence those emotions. So you see here, there are 12 competencies in emotional and social intelligence. And it's actually not a difficult skill to learn. It's not a difficult thing to improve and develop. All you need to do is get a good specialized emotional intelligence coach. There are various companies who do it. Goldman AI is probably the biggest and most famous one. And emotional intelligence, there was some research by Daniel Goleman a while back, and it is the number one skill to make you, it's a distinguishing competency. So for jobs of all kinds, people who are in the top 10%, the highest performing people, these are the people who have more emotional intelligence than the other people. So of course, cognitive abilities and technical abilities and IQ is also important, but emotional intelligence is going to set you apart from everyone else.
Fascinating. And in your book, you talk about system thinking and system dynamics. Can you run us through what that means?
Absolutely, Janie. So systems thinking is basically a fancy word for seeing the big picture. We live in an ecosystem and there are many things that interact with each other. And when we are problem solving, sometimes we make decisions that they may sound sensible at the time of making, but later on when we look back retrospectively, we realize, oops, this wasn't the right decision, or it made the problem even worse. You see examples of these, countless examples in ecology, in policy making, in government. In Australia, we are very familiar with the cane toads, the problem in Queensland. Many parts of the world, they have experiences with these as well. So how can we make decisions that are the right decisions? So there's a bit of a wisdom to this and how to see the bigger picture. So in my book, I have a short 20-page chapter on this topic. So it's a great chapter to get you started. But if you want to learn more and take it to the next level, you can read the work of Ross Ackhoff or Peter Senge, or if you want to take it to the academic level, because this is an academic subject as well, you can read Donella Meadows. So there's great books and great information on this available as well.
And what about transferring our skills? What do we need in 2021?
So these transferable skills, I think apart from the two that I mentioned, there are other skills like Agile and Lean, marketing and information technology and systems, which I think are very valuable. Agile and Lean are basically ways that organizations and jobs can become more efficient in our jobs and organizations, and not just efficient, but also effective. So doing the right thing and doing it right. There are countless frameworks and certificates available in this area. The most popular one is called the Scaled Agile Framework, or SAFe. I highly recommend people reading more on this or getting certified. Marketing, there are things like how do you brand yourself? How do you do social media marketing? How do you learn how to pitch something, get better at sales, and various marketing skills which are super important in today's age. And last one is information technology and systems. So, we all can use Zoom and Microsoft Office, but these things are a black box to us. So if we want to really learn how they work, that's going to give us a competitive advantage over everyone else. The example I always give here is I used to work at one of the big four banks, and the CEO there. So this is a guy who has over 50,000 people working for him, and he has, it's a big, very busy person, very big company. And this guy takes the time once a month, spend an hour learning how to code. So this is fascinating. And by learning how to code, by learning information technology, it becomes something that we really understand rather than a black box to us.
Well, in very difficult times, it's very encouraging to hear your advice and information. There is always plenty to learn. Thank you so much, Arash, CEO of Sprint Agile and author of The Wise Enterprise. You take care.
Thank you so much, Janie.